Yep, I have switched up my Motovlog setup again. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to be using. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is good to have you here, back for a brand new video. Not a lot of riding going on this weekend. I was hoping to be able to upload another, ride video or something like that. But nope, you're just stuck with me like this. Why? Because it's one of those 3 days out of the entire year that it's raining and cold in Southern California down here in Orange County. So there's no riding going on this weekend. So I did want to put a video together, kind of answering some questions about my Motovlog setup. Throughout the last few videos, I've seen some comments in the comment section of people saying, hey, what are you using? Either it looks really good, or what settings are you using? What equipment are you using? Or the audio sounds really good. Even at high speeds, your audio is really, really clear. What are you using? And I don't mind answering those questions in the comment sections by far, but I thought, hey, let's do an updated video and tell you exactly what it is that I'm using. That's what we're going to do today. But before we get to any of that, if you guys are enjoying the content on the channel, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so that you're notified every time I upload a brand new video, which I'm trying now to get to 3 a week. I'm really going to take YouTube seriously this year, the way that I used to many years ago. I'm enjoying and loving making this content, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. So subscribe to the channel and like the video. Also want to let you know, anything that we talk about today, there are links down in the description to every piece of gear that I'm going to show you and that I'm going to talk about. So links are down in the description. Okay, so for those of you that haven't watched the previous few videos, I had gotten the GoPro Hero 11 Pro, the GoPro Hero 11 Black, whatever. And then the DJI Osmo Action 3 camera. I think they both came out on the same day, and I got them on the same day, the first day they launched. I had used the GoPro for a little while, and I thought, oh, you know what, let me switch over, let me try the DJI Osmo Action 3. And I thought that I liked the DJI Osmo Action 3. That is until I actually thought, you know what, could you use this as a vlogging camera? Because I mean, this setup right here that I'm using right now, you can't vlog with it. Matter of fact, hold on, let me see here. I'm gonna record some footage and I'm gonna show you. I mean, this is the rig that I'm using right now. And I'm just sitting here in my garage because it's peaceful and it's quiet, but there's no way in the world of using this as a vlog setup. Look, I know some people do. That is not for me. I don't want this huge rig out in public. So I thought, let's see if we could do a vlog with the DJI Osmo Action 3. Again, for those of you that haven't seen that video, you can go watch it, or I'll summarize it for you. The focus on the DJI Osmo Action 3 fucking sucks. It's horrible. I had seen online, I'd read some other reviews, watched some other videos, and there is a problem with the focusing issue. It was an issue on the first ones that were sent out. It's like, where have I heard this before? Pan America. It's like, why don't people just make shit that works anymore? That's kind of where I'm coming from. It's like, you have months and months, if not years, of research and development, and how do shitty ass products make it to the marketplace? I digress. So I knew there was an issue. I did everything I could to resolve that issue. I made sure the firmware was up to date. I did all of that stuff, and it still was a problem. So I thought, you know what? I can't use this because I do want something that if I want to get off the bike and I'm somewhere and I don't want to have this big rig with me, what could I use? Obviously, the DJI Osmo Action 3 is not going to be the answer to that problem. So, okay, back to the GoPro. Then audio. I come from an audio background as a multi-platinum selling producer. For many years, audio is important to me. So when I think about how people are listening and watching the videos, and even some of the videos I watch, I'm like, man, the audio is just not good. And so the audio is important to me. So we went through multiple lav mics, all kinds of stuff. And I thought, this isn't going to work. I don't like the sound. One of the things I did find though when I started using the DJI Osmo Action 3 was several months before that I had purchased the DJI mic. I not really used it. I used it a couple times with the cell phone to do a couple things, but I hadn't really used it on any of my better cameras. So I pulled it out and I started using it with the DJI Osmo Action 3. God, that is a fucking mouthful. Anyway, I think we're going to shorten it now. We're officially going to say Action 3. And I liked the audio. I'm like, wow, okay, so I'm having a video issue. I don't really like the way that it looks, but I love the way that it sounds. So what can we do? Can we pair the two together? So that is the new setup, and this is what I'm going with now. So let me show you this, what I've got here. And this is what you've seen in the last probably 3 videos that I've put up where we've been out riding the bikes, is I am using the GoPro Hero 11 Black with the media mod. You can see the little media mod here with the DJI mic on top. Let me see if it'll focus in on that for you guys. Of course not. Why would it? You're just using a $5,000 camera and a $3,000 lens. Why would it focus? But anyway, and I've also got the Polar Pro ND filter on here as well. So this is the rig I'm using. So, and I'm watching my monitor up here so I can see, and I don't have my glasses, so there's no telling what I might be pointing to. So what I've done is I've taken the DJI mic and I've put it on top of the media mod, because one of the things that I really like about the media mod is that it actually does have a cold shoe adapter, which the DJI, the Action 3, even with the case that it comes with, the kit I bought, does not have a cold shoe or hot shoe on it whatsoever. DJI, maybe think about that. If you're gonna sell a companion product, you might wanna make sure it can affix to the camera. I'm sure a third-party manufacturer makes one, but I didn't have to because I have a GoPro here. So it has it on there. And then that little attachment slides right into the cold shoe so that it sits right there like that. Let me try this, matter of fact. Let me do this.
A few moments later.
Okay, so now that we're focused in, you can see the DJI mic sits right up here in the cold shoe of the media mod of the GoPro Hero 11 Black. Then you've got your little TRS cable right here that comes out of the side of the receiver for the DJI mic, and it goes right into the back of the media mod. And that's the whole little thing, that's the whole little unit that is right there front facing on my helmet, which hashtag not sponsored, but I use chin mounts on all of my helmets up there, and I've got a couple more that I need to go, that I need to buy chin mounts for, because I'd like to, I've been trying out some different helmets, and I need to get chin mounts so I can mount this thing on all of those. Now, the transmitter, what do we do with the transmitter? Let me find the transmitter, it's here somewhere. There it is. This is the transmitter for the DJI mic. And it is very small, and of course, again, we're not going to focus. Maybe we will. There we go. Oh, come on, $5,000 camera. Let's do our job. There we go. That's it. I mean, that's how tiny it is. It's just little bitty. So what did I do? And how does and why does my audio sound so good? Number one, I set the gain staging, the gain level on the DJI mic receiver to -12. So that takes it all the way down. So we're not going to be clipping audio. We're not going to be clipping the drivers inside the DJI mic. We're not going to overpower it, and we're not also going to be overpowering the audio drivers inside the GoPro when it's on the whatever it is mod setting for microphone when you're using the media mod. So what I did, and I would love to be able to show this. Maybe I'll get some footage with my cell phone and pop it in here, because I can't fit this 24-70 lens down in the helmet where you can see. But I tell you what, hold on, where's the helmet? There's the helmet. I know you're not going to be able to see this, and I wish that you could. Maybe you will. I don't know. Let's take a look. This is my, what is this? This is the RF 1400 Shoei. I love Shoei helmets. Absolutely love them. I've got 4 of them, and I love this one a lot. What I did was I got on Amazon, because one of the things about this transmitter from the DJI mic is it is magnetic. It's got magnets in here, so it will snap to anything metal. So I thought, okay, let me find some 3M small magnets. So what I did was, again, you're probably not going to be able to see this, but right here inside the helmet, can I angle that in a way? Maybe you can see it's right there. Right there. Right there. See that little square right there? That is a magnet. And what I do is I take the transmitter and I pop it right inside just like that. So it sets just like that. So, I mean, you can't see it from the front. Well, you can see a little bit of the dead cat down here. But other than that, it sets right inside my helmet like that. So kind of here's how the process works. I'll just do it. So I'm there. I put my helmet on. And all I do is, you got the magnet on this side of the mic. So what I do is just take it and drop it down in there, and it magnetizes right to that little magnet that I have stuck because of the 3M adhesive to the inside of the helmet. And that's how I get my audio. I make sure that I always put the dead cat on it because it helps muffle the noise. And then I'll tell you another little editing secret in a second that helps my audio sound really good. But this is the exact setup I have, and this is why people say, oh, why does your audio sound? How does your audio sound so good? This is the exact setup that I'm using. The thing I like about the DJI mic, though, is that, let's say, okay, I'm going to get off the bike and I'm going to go do something, but I still want great audio with the camera that I'm using. If it's a GoPro or something else, I can do one of two things. One, I can either just pop that out and I take the helmet off, and then all I have to do is take this and clip it somewhere on my shirt just like that, and I've continued to get great audio. So I can move, I can vlog, I can do whatever I want because I'm taking the microphone that's attached to my GoPro with me wherever I go because it's wireless. So it's a complete wireless solution. So let me put the helmet back. So after having tried out all of this different stuff, this is what I found out I like the best. The other thing I love, and I mentioned in a previous video, was the DJI mic comes with 2 of these transmitters. So if I wanted, I could leave one permanently in my helmet, and then I could have another one in my pocket that when I get off my motorcycle and want to go vlog around or make sure that I'm continuing to get good audio, all I have to do is just take the second one out of my pocket and clip it onto something, and boom, off we go. And I'm still getting great quality audio. I cannot recommend this setup enough. I mean, the only other option is if you get into recording audio externally. And look, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but there just comes a point when it's like there's just so much that I'm willing to do to create content. That's just another step. It's just another thing you have to do in post to sync up the audio and do all that. This makes it very clean, very easy, very simple. Now, let me share a pro tip. I do have a little bit of a leg up on everybody else coming from my background, is I know what plugins to use. I know how to clean up the audio in post as well. But I want to tell you very simply, I use Adobe Premiere Pro in editing all of my videos, whether it's what I do here on the YouTube channel or professionally. I use Adobe Premiere Pro. Thinking about possibly switching over to DaVinci Resolve, and we'll see about that. But for right now, I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro. And let me go through my chain real quick. If you use Adobe Premiere Pro, you're gonna recognize this. The first thing I do is add dynamics, okay? So I go in, I add dynamics, I turn on, inside the dynamics window, I turn on the compressor, and I turn on the limiter. I will adjust the gain just a little bit. I'll probably put the compressor at 2, which means you need to raise the gain to compensate a little bit, and that'll usually go up to about -6 or -8 dB. I'll put that on there. Then I put a parametric equalizer, And in the general settings, you can select vocal enhancer. I select vocal enhancer, and then I play around with the waveform to get it exactly where I want it to go. I roll off the low end and increase the mids and the highs just a little bit to get the crystal clear audio. The third thing that I do is I do put the de-noise filter on it, and I take the level down to about anywhere between 17 and 20. That's still going to allow the noise from the motorcycle and some of the outside stuff to get in, but it's not going to overpower what's going on with my voice, and it's not going to overpower everything else that's going on around me. So you still get the ambient sound, but it's buried a little bit so that my voice is projecting, my voice is on top of everything else. Honestly, that is about all that I do to my audio. Every once in a while, look, and there's another effect in your audio panel in Adobe Premiere that's called anti-click remover. This is not what it's used for, but a lot of times these mics will pick up just different sounds that are out there. And sometimes, look, audio with these small action cams are not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. And sometimes there's some interference noise, there's some crackling, there's some things like that going on. Although I haven't noticed that as much since I got away from using the lav mics and went to the wireless setup. Pro tip there. And that did away with that. But every once in a while, if I notice some of that digital interference or that digital signaling or crackling or whatever, I'll throw on the anti-click remover and it takes it right out. So there you have it. This is going to be my setup for quite some time. And I'll tell you another reason why. We've mentioned Ride Motos a few times in a couple of my videos that Josh and I are starting. It's going to be a content hub, but I'm also developing it into a television show where we're going to be bringing you gear, rides, reviews, a whole motorcycle reviews. We've got manufacturers lining up for us to test bikes and do things like that. Think Top Gear-ish for motorcycles, and it's called Ride Motos. One of the things that I switched back to the GoPro as well, instead of having the Action 3, is Josh and I can have the same cameras, and I'm going to go buy 3 or 4 other GoPro Hero 11 Blacks and have all of the settings set to exactly the same thing so that no matter if we're taking footage from his helmet or his motorcycle or mine, I can match them up in post perfectly. So the color will match. We'll basically, in essence, be shooting, have 5 of the exact same camera with the exact same settings. So that's one of the reasons that I went back to the GoPro. But I'm glad that I did because I think overall it's better. If you are using the GoPro and you're not using the Polar Pro or another brand, I prefer Polar Pro. They are not sponsoring this video. They didn't give me shit. I paid for them. For my big cameras and the little cameras, I paid for them. Check out, get yourself some ND filters, at least like an 8 and 16. Very rarely do I use the 32. The 16 lives on this GoPro at all times. So get yourself some ND filters. What that it does is allows you to lock your camera settings in, especially at shutter speed. So if you want your videos to look cinematic, I don't like 60 frames a second. 60 frames a second is what we call like, it's television news or soap opera looking. I don't like that. I like the motion blur. I like film is shot at 24 frames a second or like 23.876 or 9. It's not actually 24. But I prefer that look. But the exposure is a problem when light is changing all around you. So one of the things that the filters, the ND filters allow you to do is lock that shutter speed in at twice your frame rate. So if you're shooting at 24 frames a second, you can lock your shutter at 1/48, and that keeps the exposure right where you want it and allows you to have that motion blur that looks a little bit more cinematic and less like an episode of Days of Our Lives, which is what I prefer. That's not to say anything bad about anybody, shooting 60 frames a second or whatever. You do you. That's totally cool. It's just not what I prefer to do. So again, I cannot recommend enough the GoPro Hero 11 Black with the DJI mic and the media mod and your DJI mic setup. I think it's great. The DJI mic comes with a charging case, so you can put the receiver and the two transmitters in the case. It charges. It comes with adapters for your cell phone. It comes for adapters like this when just using it at like a TRS cable. It comes with everything in the world that you need to get great audio. And no matter what you're using, as long as you can get audio into your camera, it's going to sound really good. At least it does for mine. And I think this is what I'm going to stick with for a while, unless something new comes out or I figure something else out. It's just too easy. When I was using lav mics, it would constantly come out of where I had it tucked behind the cheek pad. The tape would come loose. This is just simple. I just take it and slide it and it pops and it locks to that magnet and it just stays there. I don't have to worry about it at all. So anyway, that is my setup. That's what I'm currently using. It's probably what we're going to stay with for a while. Anyway, if you have any questions whatsoever on cameras, motovlogging, equipment, settings, editing, any of that stuff, feel free to pop your question down in the comments below. I do my best to read every single comment you guys leave on the channel and respond to it as quick as I possibly can. So if you've got those questions, I'm happy to answer anything. Helmets. I mean, I have tried it all. And the thing of it is I own pretty much every piece of gear you could possibly imagine when it comes to video stuff and audio stuff. So if you've got questions about different kinds of gear, don't hesitate to ask. I'd love to answer them for you and get you out there motovlogging as well and making sure you're getting your video the way that you want it to look and your audio the way that you want it to sound. One thing to remember if you're thinking about doing this for YouTube is this is a proven thing here. People are 9 times more likely to click off of a video for bad audio than they are bad video. Pretty interesting for a video first platform. But people want to hear you. They want to be able to understand you and see what's going on. So this is my solution, and I'm happy to help you with any solution that you might need help with as well. Again, links to the DJI mic, the GoPro Hero 11 Black, the Polar Pro filters, everything that I use, there are links to it down below. I believe there's even a heading down there that says My Motovlog Rig. You can click on that and everything's in there, and you can add it to your cart and away you go. Or you can find it and source it on your own. Anyway, guys, thank you for being here for another video. I hope you have a great weekend. And again, any questions, pop them down below. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I'm going to try to start putting out 3 videos a week. We'll see how that goes. But if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Let YouTube know that you like it. Share it with somebody that you know and love, or share it with somebody that you just absolutely hate and really piss them off. Guys, I'll see you in the next video.